Book 1. The Preparations. Prologue. Stains. In a windowless room stood a woman and a man facing each other. Close by, dying embers lay smoldering on the hearth of a stone fireplace. The glow did little to illuminate the small space, whose walls of hard-packed earth absorbed most of the light and warmth. The man was ancient, with shoulders so hunched that it was a constant strain for him to keep his head up. Thin strands of white hair grew from his head in patches. The garb he wore was simple, a plain white robe tied with a black sash. The man leaned heavily upon a wooden staff, which was almost as twisted and gnarled as he was. The woman was his opposite. She was far younger, with long black hair and ramrod-straight posture. Her clothing was the same color as the man's, and included a matching cloak, lined with white rabbit fur. However, she required nothing with which to support herself. "What did you do in the mountain?" The man's voice was solemn, as though he knew and dreaded the answer. "Why do you ask me this?" snarled the woman. "Tell me," was his only reply. Even though the words were meek, anger flashed in the dark depths of the woman's eyes. "I have done only what was necessary, not for us, but for our people and for their descendants." "I feared as much," the old man whispered. He turned away slightly, a haunted look in his blue eyes. "I will take no part in this any longer." "We have a mission," she told him furiously. "We have been entrusted with thousands of lives, and the very future of mankind. Are you really prepared to turn your back on everything we've worked for?" "I am sorry," the old man replied gently. "How can you do this? You promised me your help." "I know, I did, but I find now that I cannot. We were wrong. The path we have followed has always been wrong. I was blind not to see, and I will walk it no more." "This is Adele's doing," the woman hissed. "She merely opened my eyes to the truth," the man said sadly. I wish she was still here to do the same for you." A flicker of some unknown emotion crossed the woman's face for a single instant. The old man hobbled a few steps toward the woman. She did not recoil from him as he reached out to embrace her. "This is all my fault," he whispered. "I have failed you in every way, and I am sorry. So, so sorry." The man closed his weary eyes and held the woman in his arms as if she were still the small child he had known all those years ago. After a moment of stiffness, the woman returned the man's embrace, bringing her arms up around his back. Something in her hand glinted as the glow of the firelight touched it. The old man's face relaxed as he rested his weary head on the woman's shoulder. His eyes remained closed, almost as though he were dreaming. The two stood like that until the woman broke the silence. Her words were soft, whispered directly into the man's ear. "No, you have only failed me this once, and I am the one who is sorry, Father. I am so very sorry." The old man gasped as the woman plunged a dagger into his back. His face contorted in agony, and a second later he was on the floor, convulsing, while a pool of crimson liquid flowed from his body. It didn't take long before death claimed him. Even once the blood had stopped flowing and the eyes had grown dull, the woman still remained motionless, looking down at the man who had been her father. There was no emotion on her face when she finally turned away. Her feet carried her to the room's only door. It was set several feet high in the wall and had stairs leading up to it. The woman produced a key and unlocked the door. She pulled it open, but did not leave the room. Two men entered immediately, as if they had been waiting. Both took in the body on the ground with astonishment. "Change of plans," the woman said. "Take care of that," she added, nodding at the corpse. Without offering another word of explanation, she walked past them through the door. Only once did she glance back at the place of bloodshed. The foundations had already been laid there for a great building. It was to be erected over the hidden room she had just left. The woman turned away a moment later, wrapping her cloak tightly around her body against the winter chill. It was now stained maroon with blood.